say words couldn't hurt me. Videos, just my name, they getting thirsty. Go ahead and put him in a hearse. It's getting murky, this time I deserve this. I'm ready for whatever war said he been a matador. Scared for the things I'm dreaming for. I'm eating caviar.
Twitter want us to pay to go live over there, bruh. I wish I would. What? Twitter wants us to go and pay them to go live. Yeah, I may be born again, but I wasn't born yesterday. If y'all can, man, hit the like button like you like something, man. The greatest, the one and only, the man, the myth, the legend, the most talked about, it seemed like, the most backstabbed, Seti Nash. Let's get to what you came here to hear. My sonorous voice from over the past month doing things like this. U.S. versus Sean P. Diddy Combs, day 35. Have the jury finished deliberating on a racketeering charge? These and more coming up. These are the charges. Count 1, racketeer conspiracy. Count 2, trafficking and Cassie Ventura. Count 3, transportation for prostitution of Cassie and others. Count 4, trafficking of Jane. Count 5, transportation for prostitution of Jane and others. Yesterday, the jury reached a verdict on counts 2 through 5, but the court agreed that a partial verdict would not be accepted. They must continue deliberating on count 1. Hopefully, we'll find out today. Sean Combs was seen praying as he sat by the defense table. God, please watch over my family. His family responded. His lawyers are some meters away, talking to each other. No prosecutor seen at this time. Lots of tension. So, the judge isn't in, and Combs has been escorted out. His family and supporters clapped in support to ease the tension, I'm sure. So Combs isn't leaving the courthouse. He's just going downstairs to wait. There's still no word on whether the jury has reached a verdict. Yesterday, Judge Subramanian instructed them to go straight to the jury room upon arrival this morning. And Nifla says there's a new note from the jury. They've reached a verdict. So this is 2 hours ago. Yes, they have reached a verdict on all counts. The rest of the lawyers in Combs' defense team are all in. The prosecutors have now filed in. The defense lawyers left the courtroom to confer with Combs. He went downstairs to wait in a holding cell, so they're with him there. Combs' family left, but now they're in. Combs is now in. He smiled and nodded at his family before taking his seat. Judge Subramanian is in. Judge, we received a note at 9:52 a.m. stating we have reached a verdict on all counts. Is there anything either side wishes to address before we bring the jury in? Both sides. No. Judge, please maintain order while the verdict is being read and until the jury has exited. Jury is in. The foreperson, juror number 5, will be reading the verdict. Judge, is the verdict unanimous? Juror 5. Yes, it is. Judge, please hand a verdict form to the deputy. The deputy will now read the verdict. Deputy, in the case of the United States versus Combs, count 1, what is your verdict? Juror, not guilty. Deputy, on the charge of trafficking involving Cassandra Ventura. Juror 5, not guilty. Deputy, on the charge of transportation for prostitution. Juror 5, guilty. Deputy, on the charge of trafficking involving Jane. Juror 5, not guilty. Deputy, and on the charge of transportation for prostitution involving Jane. Juror 5, guilty. Judge has praised the jurors for their 10 weeks of service, calling it inspiring and a sign of hope. He asked the media not to question them. Jury leaves. Agnifilo wants Combs to be released. Agnifilo, he's no longer facing trafficking or racketeering charges. His plane is chartered and currently in Maui. He doesn't have access to it. This is his first conviction and is for prostitution-related offense. He should be released. Agnifilo. His family is present and can sign a bond. We're asking that he be released today to return home to Two-Star Island. This is being raised now. Judge, this is being raised now. I'll hear from the government shortly. Are you suggesting he simply walks out today? Agnifilo, yes. So Combs has been found guilty of the Mann Act, transportation of former girlfriends Cassie Ventura and Jane. However, he was not found guilty of running a criminal enterprise in 2 counts of trafficking. AUSA Comey. The defendant is facing a maximum sentence of 20 years. Even while this case was pending, he assaulted Jane here in New York. While preparing to surrender, he was found with drugs in his hotel room, clearly ready to commit the same offense again. Combs has already been in detention for 1 year. Now that he's been cleared of the racketeering and trafficking charges, the defense wants him out on $1 million bond before his sentencing. But the prosecutors are saying no. Combs keeps shaking his head, which drew the judge's attention. Combs does not want to go back to the MDC. He's shaking his head. Judge, I like letters from both sides. When can I expect them? AUSA, in a few hours. Judge, all right. All letters by 1 p.m. will reconvene in the afternoon. I'll notify the parties once we set the time. Agnifilo. Your Honor, Combs isn't a fool to violate any conditions. Adjourned. Loud clapping and cheering after the judge leaves. Sean Combs has been let out. Tenny Garagos was so emotional after the verdict was given that she cried. Supporters shouted, "Free Puff," as his family left the courthouse. There is a lot of clapping and cheers. Pro-Diddy supporters are shouting at the influencer who believed he was guilty. The tensions are escalating.
Hey, yo, you. Can you subscribe and turn on that bell, too? Because when you do, you're helping unbiased, independent news.
Yeah, unbiased and independent news. That's what we do here. We're not one of those grifter channels where people just sit here and they come at the last doggone minute and act like they know something from watching interviews of people who ain't even in the case. Just doesn't make any sense. A lot of these stories that came out about Diddy were fake. A lot of them, majority of them. If I'm Diddy, one of the first things I do is I go through and I sue. Shout out to the visionaries, man. Shout out to y'all, man. We strong here. If I'm Diddy, the diddler, what I am doing, I already told y'all he's going to get found guilty of 2 charges. I called that easy. But the thing is this, right? If I'm Diddy, I'm suing. I'm suing TMZ. I'm suing Long Crime. Long Crime literally today, if y'all didn't pay attention today, Long Crime basically said that he was guilty in their first live stream and then fixed it. See, this media block anybody who putting their cash up in my chat. Go ahead and block them. This media that we've been brainwashed to watch has already castigated this man as guilty. Seti Nash says, hey, bruh, you're not going to get found guilty on Rico. From what I'm reading, nah, you're not going to get found guilty on Rico. Told y'all, there's 2 charges they're going to find. They're for surely going to find 2. That's how the feds play it. I keep telling y'all this. Some of y'all will listen to these prison idiots who come from the standpoint of, oh, I got found guilty, so that means that I'm going to go ahead and say that I'm an expert. You're not an expert if you get found guilty. I want to show y'all something that's going on right now. Look at these idiots. Look at these idiots over here on TMZ. It says Diddy guilty on 2 counts. That's how you know if somebody is pro or anti. He's not going to get maxed out. He's not. That's not going to happen. He has no priors. You got to remember, Sean Combs has not been arrested and sentenced for anything. So the feds, what they do is they use their point systems. He has 0 points. Yeah, we got on Long Crime earlier. So if y'all can, man, if y'all can help the fight, if you can, hit that like button so we can get everybody over here. Start stealing back our people because they're being misled. Start getting our people back by hitting that like button. That's what YouTube is literally wanting right now more than anything. Diddy's stuff is going to go live in the next couple of minutes. That's why I decided to jump on it early, because I think if I would have waited until the 30-minute mark, it would have been bad. So one of the things that's going on is, one, we all were victims of propaganda. We all were victims of propaganda. We were told Diddy was sleeping with your favorite celebrities. We were told that Diddy had tapes of all of these individuals doing various things. Then we got down to the charges and got down to everything it was. This all came because of Cassie's lawsuit. Let's not forget it. If you think that I'm not telling the truth with that one, let me see. Is this it right here?
Then
I thought I had it pulled up. My apologies. We normally have it set up. I don't know. When you add extra stuff on here, I guess they don't want to rock with you on that one. But I literally had all of this stuff pulled up for y'all. Oh, it is. Okay. Well, no, it's not. Here we go. Loading up right now. We're going to hear from Cassie's lawyer immediately following after. And I'm not saying that she didn't deserve justice or all of this crap. I'm not saying that. But I have an idea as to why Cassie ultimately did not get the quote unquote justice that y'all believe that she essentially wanted, or that her lawyer essentially wanted, because a couple of things. Their lawyers could have submitted this anyways. Her lawyers could have submitted this to the feds in California. Yeah, the feds in New York, but they didn't. Check this out.
Obviously, we would have liked to have seen a conviction on the sex crimes and Rico counts, but we're pleased that he's been held responsible for something, which is something that hasn't happened in his lifetime. And we're hopeful that ultimately he receives a substantial sentence for what he's done. And we're pleased that Cassie's brought to light everything that has happened in this trial. I just spoke with her and with the U.S. Attorney's Office team, and she's in a good place. She's pleased that, again, that the jury has found him liable, or guilty of 2 federal crimes.
What was her reaction?
And I've issued a statement as well on our Twitter as well. Her reaction is what I just said. Her reaction was that she was pleased that he's been found guilty and held responsible of 2 federal crimes, something that he's never been held responsible in his entire life. And she's happy that in November of 2023, she came forward and shined a light on this and brought other people forward who have various civil claims, and so we'll see what happens with the sentencing. All right, thank you very much. And so we'll see.
Cassie is the definition of sleeping your way to the top. I said it. Now, that's not saying that she knew all of this crap was going to happen. Not at all. If you look at the way that Cassie played the game, Cassie played the game. $30 million, 20 from Diddy, 10 from the U.S. Continental for getting kicked in her face. Cassie played the game. Let me tell y'all how I know. You can research this. You can Google it, whatever. She's with the producer, the Ryan Leslie guy, right? She messed around, got on a boat, meticulously got on that boat, got next to Diddy, and slept with him. Now, is it smart? Yeah. All right, listen. I ain't say she was no dummy now. That's not what I'm saying. If y'all get that like button, bro, we got 1,000 people in here. Can we get 500 likes, bare minimum, please? I'm sitting up here saying, man, Cassie, she played the long game. Cassie sat up there, got with a major producer, had a major hit, got that major hit pushed by a Bad Boy and Diddy, and was sleeping with both of them at one point in time. Then what does Cassie do? She decides to make sure that she's all the way in. Now, I'm not saying what he did was right. Hell nah. I'm not saying that. But if you think that Cassie ain't got this up here planned out, I'm going to tell you how I know. She said, what other man could I get? Jay-Z? He's already taken by Beyonce. That don't strike a nerve with y'all? Does that mean anything? Does that mean anything to any of y'all? Cassie sat up there and literally said, the only man that is comparable to Diddy is Jay-Z, and I can't get him. We knew Cassie was transforming into something that nobody has seen previously nor prior, because Cassie, we can hear her on the phone sounding like a mob boss. Let me tell y'all something. Everybody subscribe to this channel. You guys now know as much about Rico as any lawyer could be taught in school. Every single person who has been subscribed to this channel since the Young Thug trial. Do y'all realize that the education that y'all received is a lot more than a lot of these lawyers? Whenever somebody ever tries to criticize you watching right here and you come through and you spit your facts and everything, you can literally tell them, bro, I've been in trial for 3 years. Federal Rico and state Rico. I know what I'm talking about. The feds lost today. You mean to tell me y'all painted this picture of this massive mastermind and only got him a prostitution traveling? That's it. I told y'all, and I keep telling you people this all the time. This is what we do here. The reason this channel can't be beat from morons who sit in their houses and get mad that people ain't coming over there. They get like 100 views per video and they have to diss everybody and everything. The reason why is because the real stuff that matters when it comes to law, when it comes to your daily life, they can't articulate. When it comes to certain things in this YouTube space that we have going on here, y'all all notice we get every detail. There is no angle being pushed. Yes, there are people who will disagree. And you guys have been very adamant whenever you think I'm wrong. But today, like things like today, right? Do y'all think I want to go on a victory lap and be like, I told y'all Tuesday? No. Because the resources that were used for this is insane. The lives destroyed from this is insane. If you go back and you watch my real life Street Stars interview, I told y'all 2 male prostitutes were going to come about and testify on the stand. Was I not right? Over here, we deep dive. We tell you the truth. Over here, it's a deep dive to tell the truth, not to beg for certain things that we know everybody else is out here struggling for. This whole entire trial should tell you guys more and more that what the feds do better than everybody else is spread a message. And that message was so messed up that everything that's happening now is funny. When Diddy gets out, he's going to play the church game. Guaranteed. I'm a reborn again Christian. I've been seeing Jesus every day in my cell. That's what he's going to play. And you'll be a hypocrite if you're a Christian to say, nah, we won't accept him. America's supposed to be the land of second chances. Atlanta. I just left Atlanta. Shout out. America is supposed to be second chances. He's only guilty of prostitution. And some of us have indulged in this, whether you're buying or you're supplying. Some of y'all sit back and do one of these. You know, I just got you that plane ticket and took you to Red Lobsters at Benihana. And I got you the little Jake and Jake right here, baby. And I paid you T-Mobile bill. You guilty of prostitution, bro. Ladies, y'all just as guilty too, because y'all ain't denied. Nah, I'm playing. This right here has brought out the eyeballs for the masses. So now everybody else who sits here, I don't think he's going to get bond. And I'll tell you why I don't believe he's going to get bond. I believe that the doggone judge is one of the most biased judges I've ever seen. If we could have had freaking cameras in there, I believe you guys would have disapproved us Judge Subramanian a freaking long time ago. The way that it seemed that he was coming off, it seemed as though that man was playing a whole entire game of his own. Listen, there were certain times where it seemed that, hey, bruh, these lawyers on Diddy's side is right. Just common sense. Just freaking common sense. Everything that we read, everything that we saw in the Cassie lawsuit, all this, he made 1,000 calls and he was convoluting justice and doing all this stuff and everything and blah, 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 and all this crap. And it's like, we are in the day and age of technology where if you wanted to, y'all could have put Diddy in a home with his family, with his kids, monitored every freaking thing 24/7 because you do it any doggone ways. They've been doing this any doggone ways. You can't search up and look for things that explode or, thank God, people who want to touch on kids and stuff. You will be hit up. Your phone has an IP address. Everything you do literally will hit. So you telling me he has the resources and the money to pay for all of this stuff, and this was one of the most dangerous men on the planet? What he was supposed to be portrayed as is one of the most dangerous men in America. Did y'all ever see that here? Some of you ladies was looking like, when Diddy come out, I'm getting a part of the next Rico. Yeah, baby on me. Just being honest. Fellas, talk to some of these ladies about what the heck y'all done read, done heard, done seen with these transcripts, and you will find out that a lot of these ladies would do the same thing for a trip to Turks and Caicos. Do the same thing for a yacht party. We had TMZ sit up here and literally release full-fledged documentary style stuff as though people, and some of these people we didn't see on no jumper line. A full-fledged freaking series dedicated to condemning this man. One of the worst things that has happened is that when these people want to find you guilty, you're guilty. When these people think that you messed up, you messed up. Not even if they can prove it. Nothing about anything that TMZ put out except for a beating with Cassie, all of that stuff, none of that crap was even true. None of it. None of that. None of it. We've had people come through and I was at a Diddy party and he did this to me, he did that. Now we know, hey, a Diddy party really isn't that. We had a bail request right now. I'm going to pull it up. So this is the bail request. I just got it fresh off the freaking presses. Y'all know how we do it. So if y'all can, man, before I start reading, just so we can keep these people up. Bro, we only got 400 likes in here, 1,300 people. Bro, can we get 1,000 likes in here, man? I'm not sitting here getting drunk, begging y'all for cash apps, and then don't donate it to the people. I'm not sitting up here going off on these people having tangents because somebody's my best friend, but they won't pull up on my live stream. But I've been advocating for these guys for a freaking decade. I'm not one of them. And I'm definitely not somebody that's going to sit up here and lie to y'all. Yeah, I'm going to take slick shots because I've seen it all. I just ain't responding to nothing. I read slow. Well, then take it. Peace. Get up out of here. It says, Dear Judge Subramanian, Mr. Combs moves for release on appropriate conditions pursuant to 18 U.S.C. 31438, pending his sentence proceeding. Given the jury's clear verdict acquitting Mr. Combs of the Rico conspiracy and, I gotta say, trafficking counts, continued detention of Mr. Combs is inappropriate, as these proceedings have demonstrated. And as we told the court from the outset of the case, Mr. Combs came to New York to surrender in order to defend against the government's charges because he was committed to showing his innocence. Let me turn it sideways because, boy, this is hard to read like this. But I'll tell y'all, these words are small as I don't know what. So some of y'all who trash talking me, let me tell y'all something, bro. I make this crap look easy. Turn that, go auto rotate. Thank you, God. All right. Whew. In order to defend against the government's charges because he was committed to showing his innocence. Docket 13 at 1 since his arrest and detention on September 17, 2024. Mr. Combs has obeyed the court, respected these proceedings, and demonstrated model behavior at the MDC. And today, the jury rejected the government's allegations that Mr. Combs ran a years-long criminal enterprise and engaged in trafficking. The court of government's case, Mr. Combs stands convicted of 2 Mann Act counts, and his sentence exposure is substantially lower than when the government initially sought detention. The court should release Mr. Combs on the proposed conditions. Applicable law under 18 U.S.C. 3143A1, a defendant who has been found guilty of an offense is entitled to release pending sentences if the court finds by and clear convincing evidence that he is not likely to flee or pose a danger to the safety of any other person to the community if released under section 3142B. And that right there is where he lost it. That right there is where you lost it. That's exactly where you just freaking lost it. I'm going to tell y'all why. Because had that damn lawyer not opened his mouth and said, Mr. Combs's freaking jet is in Maui, you should have said Mr. Combs is willing to surrender his jet that has not chartered. It's been sitting in Maui. That right there shows that if he wanted to, he can leave. Bro, he's not going home today, man. After what they just said in that, I don't see it. Aside from the burden of proof resting on the defendant rather than the government, the operative standards are the same as those outlined in section 3142B or C that the court considered at the outset of the proceedings. C 18 U.S.C. 3143A, defendant is released in accordance with section 3142B or C. Thus, when evaluating whether the defense has met its burden, the court must confer if a condition, a combination of conditions, will reasonably assure the appearance of the person as required and the safety of any other person in the community. See, what they should have did was say, you know what? We'll find a place out here in New York that Diddy can be with his family, and we will wait. That right there telling him to go to 2-Star Island, bro, I ain't gonna hold you. I don't like it. I hope I'm wrong. I 1,000,000% hope I'm wrong, but I'm telling you, what they just put out there, that's not good enough. As for flight risk, it is insufficient to rely on the evidence of commission of a serious crime and the fact of a potential long sentence supporting a finding risk of flight. United States versus Freeman. Rather, the court must sensitively consider several factors, including the length of prison time the defendant faces and his individual circumstances, whether familial and community ties make the fight unlikely. His actual ability to flee and evade law, evidenced by such things as whether he has a passport, familiarity with other countries and locations, and/or financial ability to do so, and the initiative to remain provided by the anticipated harm that will befall any sureties. Moreover, a defendant's past history, compliance with release conditions, and court attendance are highly relevant. I don't want to keep reading all this stuff. United States versus LaFontaine, United States versus Scally, like all that. We don't need to read all that stuff. And y'all hit the like button, man. People starting to run out of here. I know y'all hate when I start to read, but it just is what it is. For those who said I'm reading slow, what do you say now? This is live. Regarding the defense's dangerousness prong, there are 2 components. First, the question is whether the defendant poses a safety risk to any particular individuals, any other person. Second, as to freedom of the, safety of the community, pardon me. The question is whether the defendant is likely to criminality. What the hell are you talking about? Oh, all right. Yeah, man. Basically, he's not a risk of flight, all that crap. Whether it's parent that counsel, blah, 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 formally charged, whether self-surrender. All right, we get the gist of it. Everybody is peachy. Basically, they're saying he's not a risk. He has a $1 million bond co-signed by Sean Combs, his mother, his sister, and the mother of his oldest daughter. Combs will travel. Well, actually, he'll just go to Florida and basically surrender there. Combs' passport surrendered to pretrial services, so they don't have it. Drug testing is ordered by pretrial services. All other standard conditions of pretrial supervision. For the foregoing reasons, the court should release Mr. Combs on the proposed conditions. Man, listen, I don't see it. I ain't gonna hold you. I don't see it. I don't see him getting out. I don't see him getting a bail. I just don't. I think that he should, because it's apparent that They didn't prove their case. We said it, but they didn't prove a Rico. If they was going to prove a Rico, the Rico would have been basically this. Oh, man. They're going to give him something. I just don't see it. I'm sorry. I don't see it. I don't think that they should have mentioned the freaking plane when I was saying that we'll give the plane up. You just don't do stuff like that. If I say I have a private plane and you sit up here and you say, oh, you do? You got a private plane? Where's it at? Oh, it's chilling in Hawaii. It is? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's my means of transportation. That's when you say, I'll give it up. They're about to make an example out of Diddy? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. And I'll tell you why. They can't. He's not what they try to portray him as. He's not. I get other people saying certain things and all this crap. I get it all. I 100% understand y'all. But what's not happening is this. It's not going to be the time that freaking Diddy sits up here and he goes for a very long time. You're going to have people speak out who kind of didn't pay attention to nothing and literally will spread disinformation like my guy right here.
Man, I'm so glad Diddy free, bro. You know, the reason is because I'm tired of seeing us black moguls get took down like that, bro. And I'm tired of seeing us black people go against us black moguls like that. And I feel like if Diddy was a white man who done all this shit for people, you know, I know he ain't paid people, but if he done all this shit for hip-hop, if he was white, they would have had so many white people out there protesting for this man losing his life behind a relationship, you know. And people always, Boosie was on Diddy's side. Nah, it ain't that. It's because I'm thinking about 7 children. Y'all thinking about one person. I'm thinking about these 7 kids who been in my kids' position. Not knowing if your daddy gonna come home or not is a burden on the child. So all y'all was like, no, I'm thinking about them damn children, man. So man, I'm glad he free, bro. You know, like I've been said, I don't feel he was guilty of nothing, you know, nothing but domestic violence, you know. But the court spoke, man, and man, I'm happy that dude children, man. I know his feeling right now, bro. I'm just happy for them children, man. So, you know, Diddy, sit your ass down somewhere. That's what you need to do. Grab Stevie J and your children and get the fuck on. That's what you need to do. Grab Stevie J and your children and get the fuck on.
Boosie, you're not a mogul. That's number one. Number two, you're trying to make industry connections. You want to go to all those. You want to go to all those meetings with them. I see what you're doing. And he's not free. That's the third thing. Diddy's not free. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? He's not free at all. He got found guilty of 2 counts. As we told you, that was going to happen here. So, bro, I don't know what the... But I will say this. He does have a point. There will always be double standards. But I will say this. New York is one of those places where he literally should have had this case. Y'all got to look at it like this. They basically said, all of these people cannot sit up here and agree that this is a Rico. We're told of the big bad boogeyman that is the feds. That's what we're told. Hey, bro, the feds, man, the feds. We got another document. Hold on. Prosecution's request for Diddy's attempt at bail. Y'all want this one? I know y'all do. How many pages is this? This is 9. They went 9. The government respectfully submits this letter following the jury trial of the defendant, Sean Combs. Following a 7-week jury trial, the defendant was found guilty of 2 counts of interstate transportation for the purpose of prostitution in violation of 18 U.S.C. 2421A. The defendant has moved for bail pending sentencing under the Bail Reform Act. However, because the detention is mandatory under the Bail Reform Act, he is not entitled to a release and his detention must be continued. Dang. I want to reread that. Hold on. The defendant has moved for bail pending sentencing under the Bail Reform Act. However, because detention is mandatory under the Bail Reform Act, he is not entitled to release and his detention must be continued. Background. Over the course of 7 weeks, the jury heard evidence of the defendant's violence, interstate transportation of numerous individuals for prostitution, drug use and distribution, and attempts to escape law enforcement detention. That ain't even true, but whatever. This conduct spanned 2 decades. At trial, the defendant did not walk away from these facts. Indeed, the defendant embraced the fact that he was a habitual drug user who regularly engaged in domestic abuse. Y'all hurt y'all case when y'all said it because they said we'll do drug testing. Rather, the defendant argued that despite his repeated violence against girlfriends, which that's not what he was on trial for, but okay, he did not engage in trafficking, and despite his prolific drug use. So y'all just said he was trafficking drugs, but now y'all call him a high-octane drug user? So you see how the fans will flip it? We remember when we found out the quantity of drugs was so small that you couldn't get a baby elephant eye? Okay. He did not engage in racketeering activity. The jury subsequently acquitted the defendant on counts related to racketeering, conspiracy, and trafficking. The defendant was convicted of 2 counts of violating the Mann Act by transporting girlfriends and male commercial ex-workers interstate for the purpose of engaging in acts of prostitution. Specifically, the defendant caused these individuals to travel interstate internationally for the purpose of engaging in freak-offs or hotel nights, or what we learned later on, king nights, elaborate multi-day performances involving significant drug use that the defendant directed, masturbated during, and often filmed. What does that got to do with anything? Yeah, we're just going to skip through. Guidelines calculation. The guidelines calculation in this case is complicated, and the government expects that it will be litigated by the parties for the purposes of detention hearing. The government sets forth the below preliminary calculation subject to revision. The government believes is the minimum guideline speculation applicable to this case. What? Sorry. Counts 3 and 5. The guideline applicable to counts 3 is USSG 2G1.1 pursuant to USG 2G1, and base level offense is 14. Bruh, before we read, do y'all know that the damn prosecutors cried? Tini Garagos cried. She flat out cried, bro. They going for the jugular. Grouping analysis. Pursuant to USSG 2G1.1D, because the offense involved more than one victim, Chapter 3, Part D is applied as if the promoting of a commercial, exact, or prohibited X conduct in respect to each victim had been contained in a separate count of conviction. Meaning, basically, man, we should have just hit him with multiple counts of prostitution, but we thought the Rico was going to do him in because the Rico would have bankrupted Diddy. That's why they wanted that. The Rico would have bankrupted. It took everything that he worked his whole entire life for. That's exactly what would have happened. This is insane. Because there are more than 6 victims in each victim, as if they had been contained separate accounts and separate counts of convictions. There are more than 5 groups. Each group has an offense level of 14. Even setting aside Ms. Ventura and Jane, the evidence at trial showed that the defendant transported 7 escorts. Jules did, well, I don't care about all these people's names. I don't even care about all that. And calculating the combined offense level pursuant because of the 5 groups equally serious, the offense level is 19. Chapter 3, enhancements. Wow. Because the defendant was a manager or supervisor and the criminal activity was otherwise extensive, 3 levels are added. The evidence trial showed that the defendant was a manager or supervisor of one or more other participants, namely Miss Ventura and Jane. Further, the criminal activity and was otherwise extensive. When considering whether criminal activity was otherwise extensive, application note 3 instructs the court to consider all persons involved during the course of the entire offense. As an example of criminal, see, if he would have got found guilty, they would have tried to give him life. I 100, bro, just reading this, bro, this sounds emotional as hell. The feds ain't supposed to show emotion? Man, what? The feds are not supposed to show emotion at all, bro. This is crazy to me. Wow. Here the evidence at trial demonstrated that the defendant used the services of many of his employees, including his chief of staff, Christina Corum, his travel advisor. Oh, hey, by the way, KK, she gonna get arrested next. She's going to get arrested next. She's going to have a separate Rico. She better be ready. Even if all those employees were unknowing participants, their year-long assistance in facilitating the criminal activity, they're still speaking like this is a Rico. Y'all lost that. Because the defendant willfully objected or impeded or attempted to obstruct or impede the administration of justice with respect to the investigation and prosecution of the counts 3 and 5 and obstructive conduct related to those counts and relevant conduct, 2 levels are added. So they're going to try to take them to 21. The defendant attempted to obstruct justice with regard to counts 3 and 5 in multiple respects, including his attempts to pay off security guards following his assault on Miss Ventura. Including his attempts to pay off security guards following his assault of Miss Ventura at the Intercontinental Hotel in Los Angeles, California, and his calls to Jane following the settlement of Miss Ventura's lawsuit. With regard to the Intercontinental Hotel assault, bruh, that don't even matter. I'm not even reading that crap. Let me just go to the bottom. Bail Reform Act governs whether a recently convicted defendant is eligible for release pending sentencing. Under Bail Reform Act, detention is mandatory for defendants convicted of certain specified crimes of violence. Wow. But he wasn't on trial for violence. By the explicit terms of the Bail Reform Act, a violation of the Mann Act is considered a crime of violence. So they trying to, boy, what? This is crazy as hell. Specifically under 18 USC 3156A 4C, a crime of violence includes any felony under Chapter 117 in violation of the Mann Act, specifically where a defendant has been convicted of a crime of violence and is awaiting sentencing as a defendant is here. Damn. Yeah, bro, I ain't gonna hold you. The defendant must be detained pursuant to the Bail Reform Act as detailed below. The offense of conviction constitute crimes of violence. Man, yeah, they just switched the whole ball game, bro. They just switched the whole ball game. They're saying, oh, we can't charge him with beating the hell out of her. But you know what? We're just gonna do that. This is how the people's acting today.
Yay! Congratulations, Mama Cole! We spin the girl! Yeah, Justin! Yeah, we beating it up! Shout out to the girls. Look at the girls right there, y'all. Look at the girls. Looking good. I love y'all, girls. Mama, I love y'all. I love you, Mama.
Y'all don't know these people. So how do y'all love these people and y'all don't know these people? I don't be understanding some of this celebrity worship because you got people out here acting like this.
I'm trying to tell you something how to use these 2 items. You can have these 2 items, they're legal, but if you put them together, you end up in a freako. So remember I told y'all what. So look, you see this? If it don't slip, you must have quit. You must have quit.
Oh my goodness. Say that again?
If it don't slip, you must have quit.
I'm dead. Okay. Oh, wow.
So he took all of that, and then they started to do this right here. Very disturbing video. Fellas, you might want to turn your head on this one.
I told y'all this to get out.
What you doing with all that bouncing? I'm sorry. Oh my God. What you doing with all that jiggling there, baby? What you got jumping with them gibblies? I just got the wonders. Bruh, let me see. They saying using that is not a crime. You sound like a Diddy hater. Right. I'll be a Diddy hater. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I'll be a Diddy hater, bro. That's fine. It doesn't really mean anything to me. I don't know what you're talking about, so we'll just leave you at that, man. I'll be a Diddy hater. Anyways, let's get back to it. Yeah, that was very emotional from the prosecution. Very emotional. So now, since y'all couldn't charge him on all of the beating and all of that crap, now y'all gonna try to do this crap. See, that's like somebody saying, you know what? I'm only gonna get mad that you spit in the car, you dirtied the car up, you broke the windows in the car, the windshield wipers are missing, but I'm not really gonna get mad at you for the gas. And then get everything repaired. You take care of the bill, and then they just go, that gas tank is still empty. And you're like, bro, you didn't even really say nothing about the gas. You brought it up. It's part of it. But you didn't say nothing about the freaking gas. Now you want me to pay for the gas? The thing is this. The feds, when they lose, they try to make it even worse. They're going to try to get him for essentially prostitution. Which this nation is, whether you Muslim or you Christian, y'all believe in Jesus. Jesus ran with Mary Magdalene. Mary Magdalene was a hoe. It's in the Bible. So I don't understand this one. I don't understand this one. So for me personally, bro, the feds look stupid. The feds look real goofy. And y'all know what's going to end up happening, right? Y'all know what's going to happen, right? Because that's all that it is. Trump going to get that boy out. Trump going to get him out. Trump is going to get him out. Believe that. Donald Trump going to get Diddy up out of there because Diddy still has access to that money. See, what these people know is money does a whole lot of this. Tienes dinero? Parabas de dinero, güey. Tienes dinero? Parabas de dinero. That's all that is. Money talk. If y'all Mexican, not you Puerto Ricans, not you Dominicans, not you Cubanos, if you Mexican, you know what I'm talking about. All you other cats, y'all know what I'm talking about here. That money gonna talk, bro. They didn't take his money. Oh, you're right. Tenny Garagos is Diddy's lawyer. My fault. Damn. Yeah, my bad. I messed that one up badly. Shout out to Jason Reels Network. Let me give you a free shout out. Jason Reels Network. Yeah, you're right. Dang it. Freaking A. You're right. But the feds, they ain't doing no press release. Y'all ever notice that crap? The feds ain't doing no type of press release. Imagine if they would have convicted him. Don't y'all know that the feds would have sat up there and been like, oh, if I'm Trump, I'm releasing Diddy today. I don't care what y'all say about Trump, whether y'all pro-Trump, anti-Trump, anything Trump. I'm not either or. I don't care until certain things start to happen. Then I got to give a dang about it. But right now, if I'm Trump, I'm playing every type of card. Every type of card. No, what Trump said is, Trump said, I'll see if he's being treated unfairly, is what he said. And some people get so upset. It sound bad. The mic is messed up. Phone. All right, let me. All right, I unplugged it. We're going to plug it back in. I said, move the microphone. All right. What about now? We good? We good? What the mess? What about now? We good? All right, we'll just go without that one. I got a second one. That's the crazy part. All right. We good? That's the crazy part. All right. What about now? We good? We good? That's crazy. Whatever. Sound like you're driving through a tunnel. At times, it feels like it. I need some energy for this one. Because I would pull up the laptop, but bro, it's so terrible. It's so freaking terrible. The freaking laptop is so bad. Like it's like it shoots in like 260p, 360p. Anyways, back to it. So there are individuals, and I get it. There are some individuals, like Roland Martin. I like your show. I do. It's very informative. But at times it gets hypocritical. They're gonna say, "Oh, if he releases Diddy, it's a race play." Duh. Duh. What do you mean? Do y'all understand how politics goes? You appease certain racial groups every single time. I never understood how people would get mad and say, yeah, this politician is using Hispanics. This politician is rural whites. This politician is using suburban blacks. Yeah, I won't be doing that, bro. I know how to compose myself. Oh, he only pardoned Larry Hoover to get black people on his side. All right, and what do you want him to do? I don't see when people play race politics, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They're supposed to do that. If you were running for, let's say, president. Let's say you were running for president. You don't think you're not going to have a plan for all of these groups? Women, blacks, Hispanics. The code word for white is middle class. Identity politics always played. That's why I couldn't stand watching a lot of Republican outlets because they would say, oh no, identity politics, as though you mean to tell me that if I'm a farmer from the South, I'm going to have any type of understanding of somebody that's in San Francisco that's working for that works for Silicon Valley? Are y'all stupid? A farmer in the South can relate to somebody who works in Silicon Valley. That's identity politics, y'all. Do you think the message should be the same? So if I'm Trump, I'm definitely looking at pardoning Diddy. Why? New York. New York has a mayoral race going on right now. If Trump can flip New York to a Republican and start doing certain things, do you know how that goes? I don't give a damn about what none of these old people say when it comes to certain things about racial identity, politics, and all this crap and everything. You think that Donald Trump ain't gonna service white people more? You an idiot. He white. That's who the majority voted him in. He's supposed to. Some of y'all are get mad about it's American. Yeah, it is. Did you go to your PTA meeting? No. Did you vote for your governor? No. Did you vote for your alderman? No. Look at you Texans. Y'all school system is destroyed by Greg Abbott. Destroyed. Y'all kids gonna be dumber for the next 10 years. Texas, man, bro. I ain't finna do that to y'all. All the people that's in the South that believe the belief that government is not supposed to help you in any type of form or fashion, you morons just screwed yourself over when they get rid of Medicaid. Talking about we gonna give it back to the states. Well, if you give it to the states, the person who comes in and says, hey, your grandma that died because of that bill that couldn't get passed, that's from Trump and his people. You're going to literally put in the same Democrats that y'all claim y'all hated 5 years ago. Watch how this flip. That's why I say I can't wait. And what does this have to do with Diddy? Well, P. Diddy still has his wealth. So the question then becomes, what is he going to do with his wealth now? Because if he does what I expect him to do, the Christian route, is he going to play the Mace route? Y'all remember Murder Pastor Mace? the gangster who wasn't a part of any gangs, who got chased out of New York by Jim Jones and his crew, who went down to Atlanta, started a mega church and was like, oh, the spirits of the devils and all of this stuff and all of this crap. Now he's sitting there drinking and all of this stuff, talking greasy and all this crap. Just ask y'all this simple question. It's going to be terrible. But I fully expect Trump to come and save Diddy. Fully expect that. The sooner, the better. The sooner, the freaking better. But if Trump is a part of that long wait game, he's going to wait until it's time for him to leave office and then him appoint who he thinks should be the next president and then get Diddy up out of here. Because one thing Diddy did that was stupid, that was dumb as I don't know what, was Diddy actively basically screwed himself over. Those text messages are what screwed him over. When he was talking about prices and all of this stuff and everything, bruh, that's what sealed his fate for the prostitution. Some of you people will argue and be like, well, it's about the time and all of this stuff and everything. Understood. Under freaking stood. But the thing is this, if we all know but we're not saying it. That's good enough. The way that they construct it is this simple imagery, this simple illustration of this. If you did not see somebody get wet by the rain, but you see it's raining outside and you see a person stepping in and they're wet, you can infer that they got rained on. You can infer that they got rained on. You can. And that's what a lot of these text messages showed. That's what a lot of these text messages showed. Now, I will always tell y'all, flat out, I believe prostitution should be legal. I think it will get rid of a lot of crime. I really believe that. There's too many of these morons that are sitting in their basements with prickly faces and bubbles of crap and pus all across their face that ain't even touched a woman. And there's too many disgusting women that will say, pay me for the most precious thing that I have to offer for $5.99 an hour. $599 an hour. So if we are willing to have that and willing to be that, and a lot of these ladies will use what's between their legs to get a free goddamn number 7 at McDonald's. Or some damn, what's the little D-Lo dude talking about? He wasn't saying Benny Hannes. What was he saying? What was Cuz saying in that song? Hibachi? There you go. They doing that for some hibachi? Come on, man. They did all this crap basically to say that Diddy likes to pay for prostitutes. That's not no federal crime, bro. That's not no federal crime, bro. If anything, why are we not charging the people who own these websites federally? Why not? If it's all about saving the people and the Mann Act and all that stuff, the Angels for Whatever Workers website is still up. All of this crap is still up. All of this, you can still go look at some of these dudes right now. It's still up. Why are they not charged? Why are they not charged? They openly admit to a lot of this stuff any doggone ways. Why is there no Rico on all of this stuff that's going on? It's the Fed, so you don't have to listen to state law. You know why? It's because it's Diddy, bro. They thought they were going to sit here and make an example of this man, and now they look stupid. Now they look dumb. And unfortunately, it seemed like they kind of emboldened this man to sit up here and still do exactly what he's doing. He just has to do it another way. I don't think Diddy's going to learn his lesson at all. I don't think that man learned his lesson. One thing about getting away with things is you think that is cool. You think that it's acceptable. The people basically just said, man, you know what? After everything we've seen, after we know that your people knew to carry money, that we knew that your people knew to do these things, that, hey, it's not planned. It's not any of this stuff. It's not any of these. And we're looking back like, shit, all right, man. All right. But now look at the damage that's done to people like Meek Mill. I look at stuff like that, bro. When you had to have a dude that actually participated in the adult film that he was in and say, I never messed with Stevie J. Here's my link. Now, I ain't click on the link. I just take the man at his word. Y'all have that crap come out. And then you guys, not us here, but the media sits around and turns around. Stevie J was getting his butt rammed through by Diddy. They literally say Meek Mill was over there getting his butt rammed by Diddy. And I hope Meek Mill has the money to sue a lot of these people because there needs to be a lot of apologies that come out. It just does. Because what they did was wrong. What they did was wrong. Flat out. I like Cat Williams, but half of the stuff that he did wasn't even true. Half the stuff that he said was not true. I like Cat Williams. And a lot of the stuff that he was saying I was agreeing with, but some of the stuff wasn't true. Cat Williams told y'all he never stole a joke. The joke that we seen from American Hustle, where he comes out and he does his everyday I'm struggling stuff, that was done by JB Smoove in 1995. Same exact thing. I can show y'all this. But if I'm Diddy, bro, I ain't gonna hold you. If I'm Diddy, I'm actively looking at getting some of that money back. I'm actively looking at trying to make sure that my reputation is literally saved, because he still has like 60 freaking lawsuits, civil lawsuits going on right now. Oh, no, y'all can go look it up. JB Smoove music intro, and it's the same thing Cat Williams did 10 years later. And I'm not hating on Cat Williams. I like Cat Williams. But one thing that a lot of people do is they take a lot of this stuff, they mix it up, they portray it to be truth when it's not true at all, and then say some controversial things. I could say a whole bunch of controversial things about a lot of actors, a lot of singers, a lot of all of these cats. Do y'all realize that the people who were right about this case were essentially castigated by the media? Whenever you said Diddy's going to be found innocent, you got yelled at. Say he's going to get found guilty, you got yelled at. We sat here and listened to all this stuff ourselves and came up with our own thoughts. That's how it's supposed to be. Cat knows what's going on, bro. You sleep? Vamp, let me ask you a question about this case. Did I say 2 male prostitutes are going to testify if you go look at their real life Street Stars interview? Did I or did I not say that? How did I know that? How about when I told you that Jamie Foxx actually had a stroke and that all those people were lying? And I told you when he traveled from Georgia, where he had the stroke at, to California, then to Texas, then Chicago, down to Texas. How about that? How about every year that I predicted everything that was going to happen? How about that? I played a very, very easy role here, because one thing I don't want to do is get in a mix of some BS. But I'll tell you what. Let's say Cat Williams knows more than I do. Can I ask you this simple question? Can you prove it? But think about Cat. He's not gonna lie. Even though I just told you that Cat Williams said he has never stolen a joke, and I can show you the JB Smoove joke that he actually stole. But hey, fandom is fandom. I keep telling y'all, I'm non-biased with this stuff. I keep telling y'all, I'm non-biased with this stuff. You can be a fan of somebody, and that's perfectly fine. Keep telling y'all, I'm non-biased with this stuff. That's perfectly fine. You did say Jamie Foxx had a stroke. I did say that. I knew when it happened. I knew who found him. Joke and intro, totally different. You see how people like that make excuses? When you like them, you'll make excuses. Can't argue with you. Can't argue with you. Can't argue with you. Cannot argue with you. Can't argue with you, bro. When you flip it, when you decide to flip the whole entire thing, because did they laugh at the intro? If you're laughing, isn't it meant as a joke? Okay. All right. Let me try this freaking microphone one last time. Hold on. All right. It's still buzzing. Wow. Oh wow. Well, let's start this one right here. You also said Diddy was guilty. Guilty of what? I said coercion. He was found guilty of that. Idiot. I didn't mean to call you an idiot, but bro, like y'all trying to argue with me. Go ahead, but what about now? We good? What about now? We good? You gotta be kidding. It's staticky. It's statically, like I said on the news. It's real staticky. Oh my goodness. And then you had the judge. This how I know the judge is biased. The judge gonna sit up here and say, "Hey, can y'all not talk to the jurors?" Man, shut up. Look how the jurors left.
Way to go! Way to go!
Oh my, breaking news, y'all. Breaking news. Cassie wrote to the judge. Dear Judge Shermanian, we write as counsel for Cassie Ventura to respectfully request that the court deny Mr. Combs to be released pending his sentencing on his two convictions under 18 USC 134382. Detention is mandatory post-conviction on these charges, and Ms. Ventura believes that Mr. Combs is likely to pose a danger to the victims who testified in this case, including herself, as well as to the community. Wow. 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 After all, you just said you still love this man and all this crap. After you just said this stuff. But this be the crap that I don't understand. That right there, I really think that the freaking defense reached out and said something. Now, I will say this. I will give her this. I will give her this. I will give her this. She did say that Diddy came back and hit her. He R'd her. She did say that he came back and R'd her. So I can't really be that upset, but come on, bruh. Come on, bruh. What the hell is going on here? This is insane to me, bro. This is kind of insane to me because one, shout out to Jonathan Philpott. He say for the content, thank you, bro. $2 cash app in there, man. Thank you. Unlike a lot of other people, we actually do donate here. As far as up and coming channels, we have donated thousands. I think we're up to like freaking $6,000 in donations. I believe that this channel is one of the channels that is responsible for the decline in violence in freaking in Philadelphia. I believe that wholeheartedly. I believe this channel is one of the only channels that is directly involved in quelling violence in other cities. We've given thousands of dollars to a boxing gym in particular that's in the hood, 52nd Street to be particularly correct. We gave thousands. We sponsored trips to multiple boxing events. We've taken the kids out. I went to Philly personally, firearms included. I ain't gonna lie, I was strapped. I definitely was strapped, you know what I'm saying? Because in Pennsylvania, reciprocity does exist. So I was able to bring my guns with me. I don't care how y'all. 79 just admitted he had his guns with him in Philadelphia. You damn right. They were shooting everything. Shoot, the day before, dude got shot with an AK-47 in front of the police station. Right there on 52nd Street, man. Like, hell nah. You think I'm going to Philly without my fire? You crazier than anything. No, but we've done that, bro. So I appreciate it, man. We still giving away the PlayStations and stuff. We're still giving away everything. We're still giving away the Xbox. We're still gonna, once we start hitting the other 100,000s, we're gonna start giving away $2,000 per. Everybody's gonna win. Can't be bragging charity or don't count. Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can. It counts to those kids. It counts to the people who won. It counts to that lady who just said we saved her Christmas. Nigga, yeah, it do. Yeah, it do. You gonna ask that woman who Christmas we gave $1,000 to, and you tell me it don't count. That's letting people know what we do with their money around here. Go hit up Eric Hunter. Go hit up y'all championship boxer, Eric Hunter, aka Outlaw, and ask him about Seti Nash. That's what you can do. That's what you can do. Go ask. I just told you. I want to know. I just told you. Anyways, man, we sitting and we waiting. We sitting and we waiting. We sitting and we waiting. And we're waiting. Then hit him right now. The hell? I can hit him. Hit him right now. Go. It sounds like a threat or something. That's for him, not the city. No, that was for the kids. Him training kids. Why am I even talking to you? Anyways, back to it. I predict that Diddy probably is going to get hit with like between 5 to 10 years. I think he's going to get hit between 5 to 10 years. And I'm going to tell you why. One, that judge is clearly said, did you have to pay a fine with your crew for bringing Woody around? Hell no. Nah. I don't know who y'all think. I am. I ain't one of them. They said fire, the judge said. Oh. So we'll see. Teddy, I need that 2,000 for real. You know how we rocking. That will never happen. I'm not giving somebody just $2,000. We'll split it up. At max, you're going to get $1,000 out of Seti Nash. I will never just flat out give people $2,000. No, that'll get split. I might even split it 4 ways to 500. Boosie been that man, and I know that man. I don't care, bro. First off, Diddy is guilty of hiring prostitutes. That's a fact. Nobody can argue that. The man is guilty of searching and hiring prostitutes. All these brides that he was dealing with was broke. He paid for it all. That was his get off. That was his get off. That's what it was. So I hear you, but let's not pretend that this man ain't guilty of engaging in prostitution, because he is. Because he is. Facts. But this is his first time. He's been in there in the feds already done did a year and some change. I just don't freaking, how can I say this the left way? I don't see what everybody else sees. Everybody's saying certain things of, oh, he's going to get this, he's going to get that. On the lower end, do you see how biased this judge has been? Do you see how biased this freaking judge has been? Just being fair, bro. I'm not seeing it, man. I'm just not seeing it. God dang, hold on. Here it comes. Diddy will likely face 4 to 5 years in prison based on his stuff. So, yeah. I just said 5 to 10. Everybody's calling 4 to 5 years. So I'll meet them at 5 years. I'll meet them at 5. Will they give him time served? Sure. When will he get out? Probably 2028. He's getting about 3 years. No funny stuff. Everybody paying for it these days. I mean, listen, man. Listen, man. I'm not one of those people opposed to it. That's the thing. I'm not some moralist saying that we don't all have peculiar needs. I remember watching those documentaries on, what was it, Showtime or HBO? I remember an old lady going there on some freaky stuff with some lady, old white lady, went to go get her cat smacked with female lips. Paid for it. Swear for God, I seen an episode of that. Should I have been watching that? No. Ain't gonna lie. Can't tell you what family member house it was, but we didn't have cable growing up, so it definitely wasn't at my house. Y'all better stop. Listen, you're going to buy it either way it go. If you get married to her and she divorced you, you just paid for it right there. We literally had to sit here and be in a world in America where 68% of all female millionaires' money came because it was inherited through either divorce or somebody dying. So it is what it is. Big City, you know what be going on in these streets, especially these entertainers. They pay and find out everything. I bring sand to the beach. I bring sand to the beach. I bring my own. I'm not going there looking for it because, one, I don't, and it's not because, like I said, I'm some moralist. It's not like if I had millions of dollars, I'm definitely paying for it. I'm paying you really to leave. I ain't paying for you to stay. HBO, don't ask me how I know. I won't. I'm paying for you to leave. Shoot, man, I'm moving to Vegas. I'm gonna have a roster of like 15. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm doing. I'm not, man. I'm telling you right now, because one, there's a stupid belief that companionship is everything in the world for these people who have this money. Do you think that a person with millions of dollars is really lonely? Who told you to believe that crap? Who told you that there? What bumbleclack idiot boy told you that? You think these, man, if money can't make you happy, you're not making enough. That day Diddy was paying people to lay pipe to his girl while he fondled his balls. That nigga was happy. All type of drugs, all type of brand deals. You ain't never seen that nigga not smiling. He started calling himself Love. Listen, man. I know they want to convince y'all that money ain't everything, and I would tell them you a damn lie. Because if money ain't everything, then why isn't everybody working their ass off right now to make sure in 2 weeks when they get paid, that rent is going to be good? I'm just asking. Just asking. When you ain't got to worry about certain bills, nigga, I don't give a damn about what y'all talking about. Nigga, I will go to all type of retreats. Nigga, I will be a yoga instructioner. I'm gonna know every stretch. I'm gonna know all of this stuff, man. Man, listen. I rebuke y'all in the name of Benjamin. You need to be telling y'all this BS stuff to keep y'all out the game. I ain't gonna even say which blogger it is, but I remember when I was on my red pill stuff on my other channel, and this fool sat up here, called me, and was like, "Yo, bro, you need to do more of that, cause man, that's your lane." No, nigga, you don't want me to do this rap news stuff because you want this to only be your lane because I'm better than you at this stuff. That's what you want. I know what the hell's going on in this room. What the hell is going on between these seats in my home? Y'all got to look at it this way. That's why they don't want y'all doing certain things. Remember when I told y'all, those who remember who are really dedicated to the channel, remember I told you, I said, man, Elon Musk only became the world's richest man due to government contracts that came out of California because California was trying desperately to get off gas cars. So what they did was they paid Elon Musk all of this money for these freaking cars that were electric, and they started doing all this stuff as far as making it look like, oh man, we got these Teslas, we got all this crap. We do? Yeah. Oh, and by the way, we're going to help him sell it to the government. And the government cars we're going to drive are now Teslas. So then that shot his shit up. Just the facts. Just the freaking facts. That's why Trump busted them out. Bro, if we start looking at your government contracts, you ain't going to be a billionaire no more. Don't love money. Love what money can do. Man, listen. Listen, brother. Listen. Listen. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. Let your favorite homie, man. Let your favorite YouTuber, whatever you want to call me, all of this stuff. Let me tell you something, bro. Recall the day your bank account had the most money in it. And I can guarantee you that feeling of euphoria that you felt, brother, man, money rule of all evil, that don't even make sense. I don't know what the hell you talking about. I think you're trying to say money's the root of all evil. No, money is not. No, it's not. Money ain't the root of all evil. That don't even make sense. We created money. So no, it's what money can provide you. It's what money does for you. That's what it is. Because too many people are lazy as hell. There's not enough people out here to sit here and tell the truth. The truth is, you have to be useful and be willing to be used in order to make everything work. And if you cannot do that, you must be one of the builders. And if you are a builder, you are one of the people who are a risk taker. But within becoming a risk taker, you have to hyper focus. If you hyper focus, you will miss out on what is called life in your youth. And you will not be able to enjoy it until you damn near 60 years old. Is that a life worth living? Is that a life worth living? That you're going to sit here in your 20s, in your 30s, in your 40s, trying to figure it out. And then when you are 50, you have to sit here and get to it. And then at 60, now you finally hit it. Is that a life that you want? Lil Rod case is full of lies. That's why I got dropped. Just is what it is, bro. Is your money being long worth your lifespan being shortened? Depends on your quality of life. Depends on your quality of life. That's what it is. You telling me if you had 50 years of having your way and doing everything that you wanted and seeing the highest, and you go out in a blaze of glory, you telling me that's not a life worth living opposed to living to be 80 years old, and at the last 10 years, you keep going back and forth to freaking hospitals with needles jammed everywhere and freaking prodded in every orifice of your body? That's up to you. That's up to you. That's up to you. I can't tell you. I can't tell you what's good for you. All I can do is provide you the facts. I just seen a woman this weekend, 95 years old. 95. Dancing, sashaying, doing her thing. 95. In Duluth, Georgia. And I'll leave it at that. Having the time of her life. You know what she had? She had her daughter, her granddaughter, and her great-granddaughter all celebrating with her. We watched this. You want to know one of the things that she has that others don't have is the love of her granddaughter, who's a millionaire. She's 95, still talking, still kicking. Got that slick gray hair. I ain't finna say all that. You freaky as hell. She was doing her two-step shuffle. Who likes being broke? Complainers. But anyways, I'll drop a video at 5. Y'all hit the like button on this one, man. Let's run this up, bro. I think we do it the best over here. Everybody else who came later, not everybody is bad. I'm not gonna say that, but a lot of these people that try to come back, they try to come back on some, oh, let me hurry up. Yeah, get the hell out of our house. That's how we do it around here, man.
Yeah, man, we just hit 200K. We on our way to 300, man. Subscribe today so you can find out how you can win an Xbox or a PlayStation, man. The details are on the way. This is how you know somebody is literally going to be in the drawing. Robin Minter, check him out, man. All we do is go down and we look and we see his subscriptions. Who does he have? He has Seti Nash right here. What also happens, take that off, top commenter, that right here, public subscriber. So that's what you got to do, and make sure you share each video, and then you'll be entered to win. Shout out to Mike. Good luck. Subscribe, turn that bell, stay notified, and share to keep your people aware. I'll catch you on the next one.